Season. This is the third season now. My wife and I have watched the Celebrity Special Forces World Toughest Challenge. Tonight was episode 1, January 8th. So we just want to just touch up, do a little commentary, a little recap of the show. One of our favorite shows, isn't it, honey?
Yep.
Mrs. Sergeant Beast. Contestants Stephen Baldwin, Cam Newton, Denise Richards, Kyla Pratt, Christina Romano, Nathan Adrian, Alana Blanchard, Landon Donovan, Carrie Hart, Brody Jenner, Marianne Jones, Ali Mano, Kayla Nicole, Trista Sutter, Golden Tate, Jordan Weaver, and Chief Instructor Rudy Reyes, one of my favorites, Billy Billingham, the Mrs. Favorite. We just like his stories and his reality, what happened season 1, what he told us. Jason Fox, and the newest member, retired Navy SEAL, Javon Q. Quarles. I like Javon as well. What do you think about this episode, this first one tonight? Crazy. And one of the things that you wanted to say was, we both wanted to say, we do give them credit for getting on the show. Absolutely. These are celebrities, movie stars, always put athletes, some social media folks on there. You know, and the background a little bit, you know, athletes, they study athletic stuff, whatever their sport is. Football, swimming, basketball, soccer player, gymnastics, they're absolved in that world. They do some homework, they do some research, they know their opponents, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So they should have watched season 1 and 2 to know what they're getting themselves into. You know, that's what we're thinking. Apparently, some of these guys didn't. Must have been out just whatever, and maybe it's their attitude. They think they can just do whatever. You know, movie star Stephen Baldwin, he's a thespian, he says. They research their character. They study lines. They come into character. There's preparation. So, I don't know. I feel like they really weren't prepared tonight. Do you?
No, I don't think they. You can watch this other episodes to know what to expect, but unless you're actually working or you're working towards that, they're not sure on how they would react.
Exactly. Welcome. Thanks, everybody. Hi, how you doing? Hit the like button. And if you would, please, there you go. Hello from Russia. Thank you for that. Let me know what country you're from. This season 3 is coming from Wales, home of the British Special Forces. Wales. So, you know, it's an international TV show, international type of challenge, sport challenge, mental, emotional, physical challenge. Let me tell you about myself for just a little bit. I was in the military. I was in the Air Force, worked around nuclear weapons. I was on a SWAT team there. Because of the nuclear weapons, we had to have emergency service prepared. So I got to train around buildings, aircraft, and some things that most people don't. Got out, got into police work. I was SWAT. I was a sniper. And on the sheriff's department, retired. Also, I taught defensive tactics. So I spent a lifetime physically fighting. Former powerlifter and strongman. 16 strongman competitions, went to nationals.
Yep.
Mrs. Beast here, the advisor here for Team Beast. Supporting, always there. If you go look at my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe, Sergeant Beast Larson. Each week we're going to cover these. We're going to talk about these. And it's very interesting to us because of our background. We've been together 30 years. So, you know, I retired from police and I got in private security for a bit and then worked in corrections supervisor at a level 5 max security prison where pretty much everybody stays in until they die. They don't get out. It's multiple life sentences. During that time at the prison, back in 2017, I did apply to Steve Austin's TV show, Broken Skull Challenge. And you submit stuff to them, got a phone call. They went over my workout regime. I was on 2 special teams working in corrections. One, I was assistant commander of the riot squad. So even being at 50 years old, I was very fit and thought I'd be a good candidate for that show. We always liked that obstacle course, liked them getting together, shoving each other in the sand kind of a thing, hitting each other. Well, I almost made it on the show. That was the year that, I don't even remember his name, the tall, skinny, redheaded dude, CrossFit guy. So they kept putting CrossFit people on air. And I told them I can crush an obstacle course. I can break things in half. I didn't make it on the show. But that kind of brings out the big interest in this show. So real quick, we'll go through this tonight. Did have some big failures. They came in on the boat. They had celebrities riding on the boat, just talking like, oh, okay, let's see what we're going to do, what we're going to do tonight, mate, kind of thing. And now here comes the instructors on their boat. They throw some smoke on there, go over there, and bag their head with a black bag so they can't see anything. Stand them up one at a time, say something, and then shove them off into the cold water, 200-meter swim to the shore. That was kind of like an introduction, more of an introduction than a test. Of noteworthy things, Stephen Baldwin and his look in his face, and he says, I'm a thespian. And I had to look it up to see exactly, because I'm not really a fan of any of the Baldwin brothers in their acting. Alec Baldwin, I think he was very careless and neglectful. Should have been more responsible in his shooting incident. Still don't like him. Didn't like him when I was 20 years old. Anyhow, Stephen is a thespian. Cam Newton had a smirk, had an attitude. Oh, yeah, okay, I'm a big, tall guy. I'm whatever. Cam Newton, here's news for you. I hope you watch this. These guys, each and every one of these guys would whoop your ass to the end of time, but it'd only take them about 10 seconds to do it. So that big football tough guy attitude you got means nothing to nobody. Nobody. Them dreads would be wrapped around your neck. You'd be suffocating and choking.
Yeah, but we love Cam Newton.
As a football player. As a businessman. Just don't get on
my
his...
daughter.
The attitudes started to come out right off. So then they go into the boat, jump onto the helicopter. 50% fail rate. Helicopter extract. Nothing really exciting except for a bunch of these adults can't jump. They're not athletic. And apparently they realized that they didn't do any homework. They didn't have a clue what they were doing. Let me go on to the simulating ocean water treading together. So in a circle, they're treading water in this little tank. And right away, Stephen Baldwin's over on the edge hanging on there. I'm a thespian. Can't breathe. Yeah, I'm kind of making fun of him because these guys are a joke. I've been through a lot of serious training, ran many half marathons. You got to train hard to do strongman, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but if they don't train, this is the ordinary person.
It's
like
ordinary.
myself.
It's a celebrity thing.
Yeah.
But if you know you're going to get on a TV show called
You train.
Special Forces World's Toughest Challenge, you're going to go train. You're going to go train. You're not going to show up in there being like a freaking puffy squishmallow. You know, we go buy those things, put them on the bed. You don't get them on TV. Anyhow, that really, really was challenging. Also, the Weber character and Denise Richard. You know, plastic surgery, I think half of them things ought to float. Face ought to float as much work as she's had done.
Hey, her breast implants exploded when she fell off the back of that bridge.
Yeah, well, I'm getting to that bridge to the next one.
Okay.
So, this first day one, episode 1, cold water. So at this point, they've already been in the water 2 or 3 times when they got pushed off and the treading water. And half of them, the third time, was when they jumped to the helicopter and missed and splatted off that moving boat into the water. Oh well. After that, they go back to camp, and old Stephen Baldwin, the thespian, looked around and he requested a meeting with a medical advisory. So he went and had his meeting with medical advisory. And you know, Stephen Baldwin, you just suck ass, buddy. That's all I can say. I'm 57, you're 58. He'd go in there and he was like, hey, would you be here, Doc, if after the show's over and they ask you to come back and you had opportunity to make 10 times as much money as this, would you come back? Doctor's like, what are you asking me? You know, I'm here. What are you asking me? Well, I have opportunity, whatever, and I think I hurt my meniscus, and It's a condition of this next gig that I've got. He's not a musician, he's a thespian. His theater gig is that he's not injured. Can't be injured for the theater gig. So after that brief discussion with the doctor was totally confused and probably felt like bashing his head through the drywall his own self. I mean, the doctor hit his own head. He wasn't going to hurt old Steven. Steven's already confused enough. Then he goes and he meets with staff and, then they come out and all of a sudden there's an emergency. Hey, yelling out the window. Reyes yelling out the window. Everybody fall in and they fall in. He said, one of you has a bad attitude and called him out, everything. And they went over and they took his number right off of him and said, you're done, get out. Basically said, you're done, get out. Only they used nice words because it's on Fox TV. Stephen Baldwin, well, you're a wuss. Your brothers are a wuss. Your whole family's a wuss. I got a Chihuahua kid that could whoop your wussing butt. Anyhow, we'll just get that off my chest right off the bat. I'm just not a big fan of all that. So they go to bed and they're like, well, should we sleep? It's cold. Oh my gosh, where's the toilet paper? We got to poop in a hole in the floor. Hey, Hollywood, you've had everything handed to you so many times in donuts, and you got people to wipe off a little dribble off your donut and the crumbs off your whiskers and your beard. It's time to wipe your own face and your own ass. I guess that's what I'm saying. Next morning they wake up, and guess what? Who complained about the sleeping bag? Denise Richards complained about sleeping bag. How about that? I turn and look at you. I'm like, what do you mean? One night on a sleeping bag on a military cot, and you're complaining already. That's unbelievable. Well, so they gather up, get the whole pack, get on the vehicles, nice vehicles, I love them. Roll down there, they get up to a big bridge, get a nice speech and everything about, getting caught behind the enemy lines, learning how to evade. And there's an instructor standing up there, and he's on a 130-foot beautiful rock stone type of bridge. And off he goes, jumps off backwards, catches halfway, throws the rope bag down, slides down to the bottom. And that's it. And everybody's sitting on the ground, wiping tears off each other's face because they're scared to death. Anyhow, that was interesting. They hesitated. But oddly enough, all 16 of them went. Nobody stayed on the bridge, did they? Nobody stayed up there and I can't do it and I can't quit. They all went off. Bam! Snapping, yelling, screaming. You cannot make noise or give your position away. And they kept doing it. So fail. And, I forgot to mention here, our golden boy, Golden Tate. Golden boy retired. 28-year-old Super Bowl. That's great football athlete. He said he needs structure. Everything in life needs structure. He wakes up, somebody tells him when to eat breakfast, what to eat, what to do, go to school, what to work out, what to everything. Have you not made a decision for yourself? Boy, you're 28 years old. Yeah, pause for that effect there. Hope you're watching here. So he gets up there and he's going down and he does this simulated like little gun thing trying to showboat and everything, and they yell at him, rip him a new ass and tell him, you ain't showboat like that, you're dead, you killed your team. Well, and then Cam Newton gets done and he goes over, and it didn't show. We didn't see it, but now I've seen when he says, I went to just shake his hand and, give him a congratulatory hug or high five or whatever. And then something, and then here's old, he's just sitting there, old Golden's like holding himself like, Dreads punched me in the stomach. I don't know. We don't know. Anyhow.
Why would you punch him in the stomach?
Hit him something. He did something. I don't know. Brotherly love. He's going to learn not to showboat. Hopefully that next exercise. They're going to drag him with them push-ups. So then they excuse me. Then once that's all done, they got to go jump into water, cold water again, and swim back. And in case they haven't figured this out, this is the 4th time they've been in the water in 24 hours. So it's going to be cold, wet experience, 10 days, if they make it. Well, they get back to the camp. Staff brings in Kayla Nicole and talk to her, check about her motivational lack thereof, They make a big deal. They turn around the laptop and show, because they do their homework too. Hey, you're the ex-girlfriend of Kelsey, whatever. He's dating Taylor Swift now. You make all these comments, blah, blah, blah. We're paying attention to you. You're here for yourself. You're not here to do anything. You're not going to resurrect yourself in a relationship. You're not going to outdo or one-up Taylor Swift. You need to be your own self, basically. Is that right? That's what they said. You need to learn how to be your own self. Woman up, man up, grow some, shut your mouth. I guess that's what they told her. Then they do the test of self-immersion in cold water, the arm in arm. This is cool. When I was in Turkey in the Air Force stationed over there, my roommate and I, we would always go and we would do this and do sit-ups back in the water. So we've been in just gagging in water and stuff. I've been through this. And I also made a video, had my son waterboard me last year. Why? As a mental test. Check it out. It's on my YouTube short, waterboarding. You'll like this. See, I'm not the average person. I don't just sit around and have people wiping crumbs off my face like Hollywood people do. However, prior to last year's back surgery, you know, doing podcasts, social media celebrity that I want to be, hope I am, right? Mm-hmm. I always told her, hey, we almost made it on a Broken Skull with Steve Austin. Maybe I can get on this. Maybe they'll realize my background in law enforcement and everything. And I've authored 2 books. Maybe they'll think I'm a celebrity. I'm a little different type celebrity than they've had before. But spine surgery, I think, may eliminate me from that, most definitely. So in this self-immersion arm-in-arm, you know, guess what? Denise Richards, her face is floating. She doesn't even go back in the water like everybody else, and she says her back hurts. So she gets up and she tells Quarles, well, can I just sit down and take a rest? I want to take a rest. And, you know, and we're laughing on the couch. Like, cannot believe this. He's like, what do you want to do? You want to take your armband off? You want to quit? You want to continue? That's your only choices. So she took her armband off and she quit. Well, I have back problems. I've had back problems all the time and carrying my back. I can't even roll backwards. I can't carry my backpack. So she quit. So now already we got Stephen Baldwin quit and Denise Richards quit. Oh, I do need to mention in the Ali Mano, in the bridge rope thing, she did injure her finger. It snapped. Her finger was all wrapped up. So she did have to be medically removed, withdrawn by staff to go and have x-ray. She needed to leave the camp, go have x-ray. So this was taken out. This kind of off. I haven't worked out in about a year there, Sadi. But that's my gun collection right here. This one right here. Little Thunder, Little Lightning. You see that movie, The Rundown with The Rock? What was the other guy's name in there?
Sean.
Sean what?
Sean William Scott.
Sean William Scott. Okay, Sean William Scott and The Rock. Little Thunder, Little Lightning. He wanted to see my gun show. Anyhow, I'm having a good time. You know why? Because when you get in things in life that change and happen to you, like get some major surgeries and you can't do any of this, all you can do is, well, you can be depressed and you can have an outlet as just talking and say these Hollywood people just really suck. They get on this show and they just think they can do whatever they want. Well, after they spent several minutes in the water going back and forth and spitting and snotting on each other, which is character building. Then they get out, they run down, duck walk down, and pick up sandbag and sprint back, get back in the vehicles and head back to camp. Now here's a very important note. We got some athletes that we got I can't even think of his name because he's irritated me. Golden Tate, you know, who needs structure and is a showboat. Oh, I'm a showman. I like to celebrate when I get touchdowns, whatever like that. Touchdowns are over, buddy. This is the real world. Him and old Cam Newton, they were like, oh, Cam Newton, you ain't, oh, no more. What's really funny is their attitude. Then you got these Hollywood people that are just like, oh my goodness, oh, my plastic surgery, my lips are all smacking back and forth. Wow. But you know who's interestingly quiet is the 3 social media personalities. This is why I should have been on the show, because I would not be this quiet social media personality. I wouldn't be smack talking to the instructors. I know better. I've been drugged. I've done push-ups, you know, until your head's about to pop like a power lifter, have blood pop out of your ears. But the social media people are being very quiet, and that's interesting point. I have to make that point. I know I had some more notes. Maybe that's all the notes. That kind of wraps up the first episode. I'm very excited that they got to do this. I've actually been following Javon Quarles, Q, as they call him, retired Navy SEAL, since the last episode. He came on last year, season 2. And I've kind of followed him through the year, and he had, you know, great celebration, birthday with a lot of friends. He kind of traveled the world. He's done some different things, entrepreneurship, a lot of leadership type courses, things he set up. Doing really well for himself. He's very excited. And just he seems like a really pleasant person. Would like to meet him. Maybe a suggestion, folks, to Fox News and anybody watching. I would like to see the sheriff of Baghdad, Mr. Big John.
Love him.
Delta. I'd like to see him, Sean Ryan, the podcaster, Navy SEAL, CIA operator. I'd like to see those two celebrities on next year's season. How about let's bring somebody back, bring somebody that's in their 50s like all these guys, and just sneak somebody in there, maybe not tell them who they are until later, give them a fake name, government fake name, John Doe, that's a good one, and just see how things roll. Let somebody get in there and just really just blow the socks off these celebrities. I want to wrap this up by, again, we started off the show by saying we do give credit for those that are trying. A lot of them would pass. They would rather go do Dancing with the Stars than to go do something that would actually challenge them completely, mentally, emotionally, physically, as a person, as one. So we do give credit to those for coming out. Stay tuned next week, next Wednesday night. We'll have another recap. And we'll follow this as we go through, and we'll see how they change. We'll see the attitudes. We'll see the growth. And some of these grown men are going to be taken back to teenage life, and then they're going to have to grow up again. We'll see how it rolls. Thanks for joining. Enjoy everybody. Saudi Knowledge. Enjoy the gun show. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Anybody have any closing thoughts, any comments about this Celebrity Special Forces Season 3? Going once, going twice. Come back next Wednesday night. 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The show is from 9 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you then. Maybe next week we probably won't be doing any push-ups while we're talking. We'll just be really relaxing again. Stay safe. Enjoy the snow and the cold weather. Good night.